The acting director of national intelligence, Joseph Maguire, answering questions today about a whistleblower complaint at the center of an impeachment investigation. The report, released publicly, alleges President Trump solicited interference from a foreign country in the 2020 U.S. election, in part based on a phone call with Ukraine's leader where he urged him to investigate Joe Biden and his son. Maguire says he withheld the complaint from Congress because such calls are subject to executive privilege. President Trump, meantime, denies he's done anything wrong. Now, welcome back to Western Mass News, everyone, at 4:30. I'm Chris Pisano. Joining me tonight to talk more about this is John Back, a history professor at Western New England University. John, great to see you.
Thank you.
So clearly Washington in turmoil right now. Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just announcing Tuesday calling for a formal impeachment inquiry. What exactly does that mean?
That is basically a question of semantics. Already there were several House probes going on. This is simply calling them something specific. It doesn't have a specific legal distinction, but it's very much signaling. It's sending up a flare that what can come next might be a formal impeachment.
Now, according to the impeachment process, a president can be removed, quoting now, from office for treason, bribery, or other high crimes or misdemeanors. So then who decides or defines what is a high crime and misdemeanor?
Yeah, in this case, there is no question of treason, there is no question of bribery. A high crime or misdemeanor is something, basically the language of the 18th century. This was left up by the Founding Fathers to the future for us to decide. It is up to members of the legislative body, the House, to decide if he should be charged. And it's up to the other part of the legislative body, the Senate, to render a judgment.
And that leads me to my next question. Right now in the House, if they vote by simple majority to impeach President Trump, then it moves on to the Senate. Now, what is the Senate's responsibility at that point?
The Senate basically has a trial. Some viewers may remember back in 1998 with Bill Clinton. The trial was quite the circus. This is something where the Senate decides whether the impeachment is valid or not, whether he's guilty or not. In this case, the House may or may not charge the president formally with abuse of office, with covering up, with obstructing justice, a pretty serious charge. The Senate has pretty much telegraphed their response. Majority Leader McConnell has said all along that this is nothing, and he is not going to let his membership. It would take half the Republicans for this to be a guilty verdict, and that's just not going to happen.
And I was about to ask you, in your opinion, do you think it will actually go anywhere, especially as it hits the Senate? Some Republicans or Democrats might cross the aisle to vote either way, but you're saying probably not enough because they need a two-thirds majority?
Yeah. And it's not even a guarantee that impeachment will take place, although I think it's more and more likely. The events of yesterday and today were pretty significant. But the Senate is going to hold the line when it comes to Republican members. They don't want everything to fall apart. For the president to be removed means the last 3 years, everything falls apart. It's all built on Trump.
Professor Back, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.